Staring at two different views on your window ledge. Coffee is gone cold, it's like time froze. There you go, wishing, floating down your wishing well.
My hair is tragic right now, but there is a reason for that. I'm going to show you guys today how I slick my hair because I always forget to do it just before my video comes on, and then I get so many questions from you guys saying, how do you slick your hair? And I feel a little bit embarrassed, to be honest, showing you guys this because it is that simple. But I would just put it in at the beginning of this video really quickly. So I've washed my hair, it's looking very long, might I add, but yeah, like kinky and it's not straight. I haven't styled it necessarily. I basically just take a brush through my hair. And now I'm going to be using this little brush from BBB & Co. They've got beautiful bamboo brushes with really nice bristles. They're really great quality brushes. So I basically just take this brush and I just draw a part down the center. Alright, so then I tuck it all behind my ears. Get all the little bits in and I just pull it down. And then I grab the same hairbrush and I brush through one more time. I like to take these elastics that look like this, they're sort of twirly. I basically just twirl my hair until it folds like that. And then without twirling, I wrap it around. So it's in a bun. So as you can see, it's sort of just like, my buns are never good. I can never really achieve a good bun, but that's not really what I'm going for. I'm more like having the slick hair. I've been using the Toni & Guy Flexible Hold Hairspray. I just give a big spritz over my hair. And with my hands, I kind of just like flatten it down. And that's that. So obviously it's not perfect. I like it to be just sort of as simple as possible. Okay, now that I've eaten a ton of hairspray, I'm just gonna eat an Easter egg. Okay, so today's makeup, we are going for a prom, like prom formal, whatever you call it. Here in Australia, we call it a formal. I know over in the US, you guys call it a prom. Yes, we're gonna be doing formal makeup. So obviously I'm gonna start out with a moisturiser. I've been using the Fresh Umbrian Clay Oil-Free Lotion before makeup. I'm testing out a lot of new skincare at the moment. I get a lot of questions from you guys asking what skincare I use, so I will let you guys know about that if it turns out well. But definitely recommend Kate Somerville if you guys are looking for a really good skincare. She is incredible. I like to really prep the skin, so I've cleansed and exfoliated to make sure any dead skin cells and excess dirt is off your face, because your foundation is going to look the best on skin that is really well prepped. So I'm going to go in with my Nars Sheer Glow in Syracuse, I'm not sure how to say it. This is a really old favourite of mine and I've just recently picked it up again. As many of you may know that this is my all-time favourite foundation. Nars is just the winner for me, and I would definitely use this on a night out, but for a more natural, dewy skin-like finish, I would go for the Sheer Glow. Using my beauty blender, I'm just going to blend that into my skin. This is a little dark for my face, but I'm sort of just matching it to my neck. Okay, so I totally forgot to prime. I've just realised. If I was to prime, I would use a pore filling primer. Pore filling ones will make your skin look much more flawless and it'll keep your foundation on longer. Okay, now with concealer, I have so many favourites. My favourites at the moment are Estee Lauder Double Wear and Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to be using the Nars concealer in the pot and it's in the shade Custard. This is still very new to me. I can't really suggest this to you guys yet, but I'm just trying to figure out whether I like it. I love this concealer for an everyday wear because it's so lightweight. You would think a pot concealer would be so heavy, but it's actually super lightweight. I'm going to be putting this concealer in my T-zone as well, so on my chin, my nose, and my forehead. And then I'm just going to pick the beauty blender up and blend that in again. So now that I have concealed, I'm going to be taking my Estee Lauder Cream Highlighter in Champagne Glow. And this is my favourite cream highlighter at the moment. I'm just going to be putting this on all the high points of my face. I think cream highlighters just make you look so healthy and dewy. I'm going to take the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Beautiful Bronze. I'm just going to go in sections. So I'm going to place the product and then take a brush and just blend that in. I think using cream products is probably the most natural option. And I think it looks the nicest on the skin. And I'm going to run a tiny bit down the sides of my nose. You only need the smallest amount of this product though, because it's very, very pigmented. And finally for cream products, I'm going to be taking my Stila blush. This is in the shade Peony, just a really gorgeous neutral shade. So I'm going to take my finger and just put that on the apples of my cheeks and blend upwards. You don't want to stay like this all night because it will probably sweat off. So we're going to go in with some powder now. I like using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I like baking. Baking is a very intense way of setting your makeup. You don't have to bake, you can just take a brush and lightly set your whole face, but I like to dip a wet beauty blender into the translucent powder and I like to set my under eyes this way. And with whatever's left on the brush, beauty blender, I'll go in and set my eyelids as well. I like to take a bit more of that powder and just set my T-zone. You're hopefully going to be doing a lot of dancing, so this will just really lock your T-zone down in place if you get quite oily. Probably my all-time favourite palette is the Master palette by Mario, and for me this just has the perfect amount of neutrals in it. So just on a big fluffy brush, I'm using the Luxe Soft Definer brush. I'm going to be dipping into Isabel, which is this orange shade just here. I like to begin by just running this all through my crease. So once the transition shade is down, we're now going to jump into Lula, which is this more neutral sort of transition shade. What I'm going to be doing with this shade is I'm going to be placing it on the outer edge and then also on the inner edge. Just beginning to make the halo effect. And then you can sort of sweep it together through the crease. So you just want to keep packing it on and blending it through. So then obviously every time you pack it on, you just want to take your blending brush and just blend it all out. So now picking up Violetta, we're going to put that in exactly the same spot that we put Lula. Fifth Avenue, we are going to be packing that on the center of our eyelids. So I'm going to take a flat shader brush and pick up the product and dispense it on the areas that has no eyeshadow. And just keep blending until everything is really nice and diffused. Now we're going to be doing exactly the same thing on the lower lash line. So we're going to be picking up Violetta and running that really closely to the lash line on a short shader brush. And then we're going to be picking up Isabel to diffuse the dark Violetta shade. And then we're going to pick up Fifth Avenue and place that on the middle of the lower lash line and on the inner tear ducts. To make it all look seamless, we'll put some of that on the brow bone as well. Now that all of our shadows are done, I'm just going to take my big fluffy brush and swipe away the rest of the powders. And now I'm going to just put some of my Clinique Chubby lash mascara on my lower lashes, and I'll just do like a light coat on my top lashes as well. Now onto the eyebrows. I'm going to begin by brushing all my eyebrow hairs up, and I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows using this product. So it's called Precisely My Brow by Benefit, and I love it because it's a really, really thin little pencil, and it makes doing your brows really, really easy because it's so fine that it's kind of hard to make a mistake. So I begin by tracing the underside of my brows. And then I like to draw little fine lines throughout my brows. But I do like defining them and making them a little darker and filling in any gaps. And that's what this pencil is great for, because you can make little brush-like strokes throughout your brows. And to set my brows in place, I'm going to be taking my 3D Brow Tones by Benefit, and it's in the shade number 2. And I like to just brush all my brows upwards. This just makes my hairs look a little bit lighter because I do have quite dark eyebrow hairs, and it kind of makes it the same tone as my hair. I've moved you guys across a little bit just because it's like sunnier over here and it's like quite dark over here. I'm going to be jumping into my little Colourpop palette here. This has just a really nice bronzer shade and then a really beautiful highlight. So I'm going to add a little bit more bronzer to the outer portions of my face, just bronzing it up a little, and then I'm going to get that glow with this highlighter. I'll put that all over my collarbones, shoulders, and just a little extra on the high points of my face as well. Finally onto lips, I'm going to be picking up my trusty Hourglass Panoramic Lip Liner in the shade Eden. This is just my favourite all-time nude lip liner. To finish off the lips, I've got two Colourpop shades here. I'm going to make a little bit of an ombre. So I'm going to start off with the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in Strip, and then on the centre I'll be putting the Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip in Naughty. Lastly, I always love to put a bit of my Urban Decay Chill or All Nighter or any of the setting sprays. Just makes me really feel like I've locked in my makeup. So that's the finished look. I hope you guys have enjoyed the makeup portion of this video. I'm going to put on a dress now for you guys. This is the most beautiful dress I've ever seen. I sort of matched my eyes to look a little like this dress. Sisters The Label has been my favourite dress brand for as long as I can remember. I've worn their things to all my formal events and I just love them. So I'll leave all their links to their website and the dress that I got and my discount code. I have a discount code. I'll leave that down below as well. So everything that you guys need to know will be down in the description box. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Have an amazing time at your formal or your prom, and I will see you guys next time.
Staring at two different views on your window ledge. Coffee is gone cold, it's like time froze.